Hello, my name is Ennis.
And I'm Isla Daly.
I'm Hannah Dorval.
And I'm Melvin Rodriguez.
And this is going to be our presentation on the impacts of sports around the world. More specifically, we'll be focusing on soccer.
We will start with the background, and then we will move on to our different perspectives, and then we will present a potential solution, and then we will list a summary of everything listed.
What we will start with is the history and background of soccer. So soccer has a deep and rich background in all around the world. Many ancient civilizations, all the way back to the Aztecs and ancient China, used forms of soccer, and it started developing more so in England during the 12th century. However, in these early forms of soccer, there weren't any official rules, not until 1848. And then, which followed shortly after, the first soccer association, which was formed in England in 1863. Now, due to British colonization, soccer spread far and wide all across the world. And we even got an official football club or soccer club in 1824. The first football association was formed in 1871. Then the Federation International Football Association was formed in 1904. Now, soccer is played almost everywhere now, coming into the late 20th century.
Our different perspectives. We will cover cultural, social, ethical, economic, and psychological perspectives. Starting off with the cultural social perspective. Soccer coverage is ubiquitous in Brazilian media. It dominates TV, radio, newspapers, and search engines. Additionally, soccer is often portrayed as a way for poor kids to achieve fame and fortune. It is deeply ingrained in what it means to be Brazilian. The media reinforces and amplifies this connection. The national team's success and star players became symbols of the nation. This data analysis, displayed on the slide, shows the prevalence of certain countries in the top rankings of the World Cup. This goes to show how culture can play a role in a country's sport participation. The cultural significance. Sports can be seen as a lens to view a country through, speaking to the importance of sports in the lives of people. This is especially clear when examining the importance of soccer in the lives of Brazilians. Soccer has become integral to the fabric of Brazilian society.
Now, moving on to the economic lens of soccer. In order to understand more about economic consequences, for now we'll be focusing on Brazil. In Brazil, they hosted the FIFA World Cup in 2014 and the Rio Olympics in 2016. Both of these competitions provided jobs for many of the Brazilians that live in Brazil. However, these jobs were only needed for a short period of time. However, even though many people were able to get jobs during these time periods, the money made from many of these games and jobs did not reach people of lower socioeconomic classes. If we look, here is a quote of somebody named Sarah, who's a Brazilian, in an interview with the Program Project wrote. She says that there was a sense of dealing with problems again, that there was still political disruption, hunger, and unemployment. This still proves to show that even though Brazil was able to host the FIFA World Cup and the Rio Olympics, these games did not provide an effective solution to any of the economic consequences and issues going on in Brazil. If you look on here, we have two different infographics. If you look on the right, we'll be able to see all the different places where the FIFA World Cup competitions were held. We can see that it was spread all over Brazil, which theoretically would help increase economics throughout all of Brazil. However, this was not the case because Brazil, after the FIFA World Cup, they went back to their normal economic consequences. And if we look on the right, it is a graph showing the revenue of the leading soccer clubs in Brazil over the years, and it's shown in billions of Brazilian reals. And in order to help with the conversion, 1 Brazilian real is approximate to 200 million US dollars. If you see, all these soccer clubs are making so much money. However, none of this money is ending up to anybody from lower socioeconomic classes.
Moving on to the ethical perspective. For the ethical analysis we chose, there is a comparison amongst two Islamic countries in which represent different ethical standards. In Morocco, their women's soccer team is nationally ranked and is supportive of a unification of different backgrounds on their team. As a result of respect towards such guidelines, this has created a rising pride towards people of Morocco. However, in Saudi Arabia, there is known to be gender discrimination in sports. The women are rather known to be caregivers than athletes, as they are seen as a less dominant group. This is showing a complete violation of respect towards ethical guidelines. On an ethical sense of society, a survey expressed on how society feels as participation in sports for women. This resulted in a decency for women respecting the morality of the particular group. However, some may have contradicting views but conclude of a smaller percentage according to the survey, meaning it is not as valuable. This survey being conducted in 2020 by the researcher Daman.
Oh, now we will be moving on to the psychological aspects of soccer. Now, while most people don't consider how psychology plays into soccer, it can affect things like how players view themselves in relation to their teams, how players interact with their teammates on field, and even other things that you may not consider when playing soccer.
Moving on to the potential resolution. A potential resolution towards the impacts of soccer in many countries can possibly be non-governmental organizations known as NGOs. These organizations are rather for the aid towards a group or state that is in any need. The organizations do not correlate to the typical state governments. Some examples of these organizations can be the Worldwide Organization for Women, helping in the crisis of women that they face in life and health. Additionally, another NGO is the Bank Information Center, which is fully funded by donations of foundations and individuals in society.
With all good potential solutions, it always comes with pros and cons, and especially there's major pros and cons of non-governmental organizations. Some of the pros of NGOs is they do provide stability for people and communities. They are open to take innovative approaches, and they like to take risks, and they help out people in a variety of different ways. However, there are many cons that also come with NGOs. They are very hard to find. They only help with a limited amount. They are meant for smaller communities, and it is very hard to decide when it is good to take NGOs out of their situation.
Summary.
In conclusion, soccer has had a tremendous influence on cultures and societies around the globe. With influence comes many perspectives. Economically, soccer has shown to be at a disadvantage to a lower class. And socially, soccer creates commodity among other social classes. Ethically, soccer makes room for gender disparity and discrimination, while psychologically, soccer impacts self-image and relationships. All in all, soccer has proven to have prevalent impact on our world and the way that things run. Sources cited.
These are our sources. And that is all we have for you today. Thank you so much for listening.